Good afternoon, everyone. Now, today we are going to study or continue with our next chapter, which is chapter number 4, where we are going to learn about the expansion of the Delhi Sultanate, how the Delhi Sultanate started, and on the other hand, how did it brought about a lot of changes after the invasion of the Turkish rulers or the Turkish kings. Now, where in our previous chapter we studied about the spread of Islam, in which we studied about one dynasty who were responsible for the spread of Islam, that was known as the Abbasids dynasty. It was in the 8th and 9th century. Now, it is said that when the Abbasids continued their rule, it was on a certain point that their rule started to disintegrate. It might be because of the rulers who were not capable of ruling the dynasty on the later part. And after that, due to the disintegration, the whole kingdom started to be getting divided into smaller states or independent kingdoms. Now, these independent kingdoms brought about a lot of changes, which were ruled by most of the Turkish kingdoms or rulers. And they were the people, they started doing their own kingdom expansion. And in this chapter, learning about them, we are going to study two most important peoples who were responsible of, or who played a very important role in regarding to their invasions or coming up towards the Indian territory, and what were their ideas, ideologies, and why had they come to India for their expansions or they invaded India. It is said that Muhammad Ghazni was a very powerful and ambitious ruler, and Muhammad Ghazni invaded India for about 17 times. Now, he came to India, and 17 times he regularly invaded India on a regular basis, and he took lot of wealth, lot of property, lot of important things that were there prevailing in our country from various different rulers, various different kingdoms. He started conquering them, doing raids, and then capturing those places or important things that were available here, high resources or richness or the gold or silvers or whatever properties that are there which could be carried from here. And such kind of activities he had done 17 times coming to Indian territories. Now, as from the earlier times only, it was said that India was one of the richest heritage of not only in regarding to culture but resources, the natural resources, and which was known by most of the other countries, and that is what attracted most of the other rulers towards India. In the same way, Ghazni also came here, looted many of the temples, looted many of the kingdoms in regarding to their properties, in regarding to their wealth, and he was most probably attracted towards the northern part of Indian territory. Now, at this time, the North India was divided into two main divisions, which were not so much united. That was the main reason why he was able to come and attack. As there was no unity between the Rajputs and the other dynasty of people who used to live here, because of this non-unity formation, he was able to attack and capture those places. Now, there are certain important points mentioned here which states about the important raids that Muhammad Ghazni had done. Now, let us go through it one by one. Number one, we are going to talk about war against Jaipal. Jaipal was a ruler who was defeated by Ghazni, who ruled Punjab, in the region of Punjab. Now, whose territory not only extended till Punjab, it extended towards the modern Afghanistan that we have now. Now, Jaipal was forced to pay tribute. When he was defeated, he was forced to pay certain amount of money to Muhammad Ghazni. And after all this humiliation of defeat, it is said that Jaipal burned himself to death. Now, after he burned, what Ghazni did is that he got an immense opportunity of taking all what belonged to Jaipal, and he not kept it there. He carried those wealth towards his own kingdom. Now, the next war that he had was against Anandpal. Anand Pal was again one of the important rulers who was again Jaipal's son, the earlier king who was defeated by Ghazni. Now, son of Jaipal, whose name was Anand Pal, who became the successor of Jaipal, and later on he had aligned with most of the other territorial kingdoms of India. But still, it is said that even though there were so many of alliances and other gatherings or support, still Muhammad Ghazni was able to invade in their territory, and most of them, it is said that most probably the system of war, actually the process or the system of war that was there with Ghazni was not prevailing with the Indian rulers at that time. That gave an upper hand to the rulers of the Turkish kingdoms to come here and invade and get success into their raids and occupation. Now, during the time it was said that even the women sold jewelers and melted their gold ornaments and sent their contribution from distant places to help in the war efforts. Now, however, Anand Pal and his allies were defeated. This opened the way for future inroads in the heart of India. Now, these two important raids that were done by Muhammad Ghazni, it opened a gateway. It opened a gateway, a large gateway, and it boosted most of the other Turkish kingdom also to start coming and invading India. Along with that, it showed a path or it showed a way as to how to enter into the Indian territories. And then later on, it is said that Muhammad Ghazni, he attacked various different places or various different surroundings of different states. Somewhere he took the temple, he looted the temple. Somewhere it is said that he took the richness of most of the wealthy people. Now, one of the important significance that, or the very prestigious thing that was looted during that time was the Somnath temple. Now, Somnath temple was one of the richest temples during that time. In India, not only India, in various different, it was known for its richness and its cultural or religious heritage. He invaded those areas, and in Somnath he looted the Somnath temple. Lots of wealth were being taken out from there. Most of the important things that were made of gold were all scrubbed out, and it was carried by Ghazni. It is also said, not only that, it is also said even the gate of Somnath temple was uprooted and carried by Muhammad Ghazni, because it is said that the gate of Somnath temple was purely made of gold, and that is what gave it an importance, and Ghazni uprooted it and took it with him to his own kingdom. Now, it is said that the Indians put up a stubborn resistance to save the magnificent temple, which was the richest and the most sacred temples for the Hindus. It was a very important temple during the time. They tried their best to support or control or to avoid Ghazni from doing what he was trying to do. But after 3 days of fierce fighting, the entire defense forces of 50,000 soldiers lay dead. Means 50,000 Indian soldiers who were fighting to safeguard that temple, they were all dead. And Muhammad Ghazni, who became victorious, who took all these valuable things, these treasures along with him, and carried it to his own kingdom. Now, it is said that there are various important factors which led or gave advantageous support for Muhammad Ghazni in regarding to his activities. Now, it is said here that his military forces were not so large in number. It is said that it was not that it was very large, but they were advanced in their war techniques. It was better than the Indian kings or the soldiers that were using that time. That transformation of system of warfare was the upper hand or advantageous situation for Muhammad Ghazni. Now, Sultan Muhammad drained away vast treasures and used them for transforming his own city, whose name was Ghazni, into a magnificent capital city. Ghazni was adorned with splendid mosques, libraries and museums. The court of Ghazni glittered with sparkle pearls, rubies and diamonds. Now, what does it mean? It means that earlier his country from where he belonged, that was Ghazni, was not so rich, was not so advanced, not so developed. But from the time he started invading India and carrying those rich properties towards his own country, it was said that slowly and gradually his state or his own kingdom that was in Ghazni became a very prosperous kingdom with all important things, with all richness that he was not having earlier. Now he started gathering it. Now Muhammad was also known as an idol breaker and a bandit operator on a large scale to the constant of Indian territory. However, he was a patron of art and learning and enjoyed the company of learned scholars and poets. The Persian poet Firdausi, author of great epic Shahnama, the great Persian historian and mathematician Al-Biruni, were among the eminent scholars patronized by Muhammad. Now, it is said that yes, he was a kind of person who used to loot, who used to go in different territories and he used to take all the wealths from there. But it is also known or understood that he was also a liker or a achiever or an admirer of art, literature, poetry, and on that basis only Firdausi, the people like Firdausi, Al-Biruni were admired by him. Muhammad's raid exposed the weakness of the northern states and paved the way for the conquest of India. And the empire of Ghazni disintegrated rapidly after Muhammad's death. For about 150 years after that, North India were free from foreign attacks. When Muhammad Ghori invaded India at the end of 12th century, there were 5 major Rajput kingdoms in the north, and the Rathors of Kannauj, the Chauhans of Delhi and Ajmer, and Solankis of Gujarat, the Paramars of Malwa, and the Chandelas of Bundelkhand. Here it means that it was the invasion of Muhammad Ghazni that paved the way or gave a way or showed a path how to enter into the Indian territories. And after that it is said that various different smaller or larger kingdoms started coming towards the Indian territory and started to or tried to invade India in different occasions or different times. Now, the empire of Ghazni disintegrated after Muhammad died, after the death of Muhammad, and it is said that he ruled about 150, after a time period of 150 years, the North Indian states, after his death, about North Indian states about 150 years later, was considered to be a free state in regarding to their own kingdoms and rulers. And it was during that time only that there were various different kingdoms started to be formed, like the Rajput kingdom, the Rathors kingdom, the Chauhans kingdom, the Solankis and the Parmaras. Now this is all about, it is stated about one of the important invaders from the Turkish kingdom whose name was Muhammad of Ghazni, who invaded different period of time. Now here you can make it out that his main intention was what? His main intention was to come to the Indian territory and to take away the wealth that is there existing and benefit himself and his own